And welcome back, and it is the 5th of May. We appear to be going hard questions, easier questions, hard questions. So let's see what it's like today. What do we have first of all? Simplify. Oh, this is a nice question. Oh, I like this question. Okay, let's do this step by step. So look at this first one first. So the minus means reciprocal, upside down, and the 2 means squared. So I'm going to turn the 3 upside down and square it to give me 9. I'm going to turn the 2x upside down and square it to give me 4x squared. So in other words, I've turned the fraction upside down, take the reciprocal, I've squared top and bottom. Then I've got to divide, so keep, change, flip. So that's going to be x over 5. And then I just need to collect and simplify. So the x's cancel, so I've still got 9 at the top. And then I've got 5 times 4, which is 20. And then there's an x left over because I've cancelled my x squared and my x. And that's it, because they're co-prime, can't simplify them any further. Question, done. Next question. A microwave is placed on a worktop. The area of the microwave is in contact with. This is going to be a bounds question, isn't it? Yes, it is. Right, what does it want? So the pressure on the worktop, newtons, work out the upper bound of the force. Okay, it just wants the upper bound. Let's think first of all. So I know pressure equals force over area, and I want the upper bound of the force, so therefore force equals pressure times area. That's a row symbol, just in case you haven't seen that before. It just means pressure. Now, I need to do my bounds. So I need pressure times area. And remember, I'm doing the upper bound. So actually, I want the upper pressure and I want the upper area. So pressure is 2450. And that's to the nearest 3 sig fig. So the 3 sig fig above is 2460. And the third sig fig below, which actually I don't care about, but I'll write it anyway, is 2440. And I want the upper, so that's going to be 2455. In other words, halfway between those two. And the area, that's 600 centimetres. And that's to the nearest 5. So 5 above is 605. And 5 below, which again I don't really need, but I'm going to write it anyway, it's 595. And the upper area is therefore 602.5. Which means the largest force, the upper force, is the upper pressure, 2455, times by the upper area, which is 602.5. And that gives me, get my calculator out, which is, well, that's a big number, 1479137.5. Now, I've just realised something. And I have to say, I should have realised this when I was doing the question, because this is why I get my students to highlight things. That's centimetres squared, and that's metres squared. And so I need to convert my centimetres squared to metres squared. So this number here is actually a really weird combination. Actually, it's not a number, it doesn't work. It needs to be centimetres and metres. So actually what I need to have done is I need to divide this by 100 squared in order to get into metres, which means I need to divide this by 100 squared, which means I need to divide my answer by 100 squared. And just to explain that quickly if you're not sure why. So in order to get from centimetres to metres, I divide by 100. In order to get from centimetres squared to metres squared, I divide by 100 squared. So it's actually okay what I've done, because I've presented my answer at the end, and I'd probably, if I was in an exam, I would say here conversion or something. I'll just make it clear what I'm doing. Really, I probably should have divided at the start, but either way, that's okay, because I'm going to take my answer, which is still in my calculator, divide by 100 squared, and that gives me 147.9. which actually sounds like a much more sensible number, doesn't it? So 147.9. And the reason I thought about it is because I was going to write my answer in terms of units. And the units for force are just going to be newtons. I was going to use, sorry, I'm going back and forwards. I was going to use this here to work out whether it's going to be newtons or whatever it might be. Anyway, point is, check your units. I was lucky there because I managed to notice it. It would be marks in the exam. Good question, because exactly what I did is what you're supposed to spot. Next question. Right, okay, this back to basic maths again. So 0.082. I'm going to multiply it by 100 because I can see there's 2 dots above the numbers. So that's going to be, well, it's 1, 2, so 8.282 recurring. Now I can see my recurring parts cancel, so these are going to cancel when I take them away. So take them away. So 99x is equal to 8.2, which means that x is equal to 8.2 over 99. Now, That is clearly unacceptable. I can't have decimals in my answer, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 10, and that's going to give me 82 over 990. Now, back to the question. The question says simplest form. So I'm going to divide everything by 2, which is going to be 41 over, what's that, 495. And then I notice 41 is prime, or it's definitely co-prime with 495, so therefore I can't simplify anymore, so that's my final answer. I've got to say, I know it's not the end yet, but these questions so far have been really good today. Really easy to get caught out by these questions. I almost did, but managed to spot it. Next one. One solution of the equation sine x equals 0.72 is 46. Find it. Okay, this one's much easier, as long as you know your sine curve. Sine curve looks like this, and it's saying that at 46 degrees, which I'm going to say is here, I get 0.72. There is another solution which is here, which is going to be 180 minus 46, which is going to be 134 degrees. Now, if you've not seen that before, I mean, hopefully you have by this stage of the year, but it's just knowing your sine curves. Definitely have a look at those. Next and final question today. The diagram shows a solid made up of a cone and a hemisphere. Right, find the volume. Now I'm going to remember the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, and the volume of a hemisphere is 1/2 times 4/3, which is 2/3, pi r cubed. And I need to show the volume of the solid. So basically I need to add these two together. I'm going to note that my radius is 2x, and I'm going to note that my height of the cone is 3x. So let's just put all this together. So therefore the total volume is going to be the cone, which is 1/3 times pi times r squared, which is 4x squared, times the height, which is 3x. Because to show that question, I need to show clearly what I'm doing and what I'm adding up. Then I'm going to add on the volume of the hemisphere, which is 2/3 times pi again, times the radius cubed, which is going to be 8x cubed, 2 cubed, x cubed. Then I'm going to neaten this up. So look at my top one, so I'm doing this one first. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that's going to be 4 pi x squared. And then I'm going to look at this one here. So 8 times 2 is 16 divided by 3. Doesn't simplify, so it's going to be 16 over 3 pi x cubed. And sorry, I just realised this is x cubed as well, isn't it? Now, I've got pi x cubed in both cases. So I'm just adding together the numbers. So therefore 4, well, I'm going back to saying 4 is 12 over 3. So 12 over 3 plus 16 over 3 pi x cubed. Remember, I'm showing the answer. I can't just write the answer down. 12 plus 16 is 28, and that is indeed 28 over 3 pi x cubed. Today, I have to say, I think it's been brilliant. Really, really good mix of questions today. You nearly saw me get caught out by one. I like all the questions today. I won't read them all out, but I like them all today. Let me know how they went for you. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.